and welcome to our first ever Firespiral Friday Roundup, where we give you a quick look at everything that's been going on here at Firespiral HQ. So for those of you who are new to us, my name is Jen and I'm one half of Firespiral Slings and the other half is Tamsin. So if you see someone else in videos, that's her, but there's just the two of us, so you'll get to know us quite quickly. So what's been going on here? Well, the children have mostly gone back to school, which I'm guessing will be the same for lots of you with older children. And that's been a big change because homeschooling and trying to work at the same time has been a big challenge for us. So we're just trying to get back into some sort of ordinary routine now. But yeah, it's all good. So we've also had a meeting this week to plan a new collection. So hopefully we'll be putting that weave plan in later on today when I finish this. And then that cloth is due sort of maybe in 3 or 4 months time. So we've got plans for going on. We've also this week received the cloth from the most recent new release. So I'll show you that. And I'm going to show you a blanket as well. But anyway. So the most recent cloth we've had is on a cirrus warp. We've only woven 2 different wraps. One of them is this Sleepy Dust Cirrus Nocturne wrap, and the other is the Water Witch Cirrus Murmuration. So I'll show you both of those. These are just unwashed sample pieces of cloth, so straight off the loom. This is a 50% Italian linen and 50% organic cotton wrap. So the warp is all cotton, the weft is all linen, and it's our special Italian 2-ply linen that is so soft. I mean, look at this, so soft and so pliable. So easy care straight from the start. This is an unwashed piece of cloth. It's got a lovely shimmer to it. The Sleepy Dust is a very pale blue lilac, which you probably can't quite catch on my mobile phone that I'm videoing this from. And then the Water Witch is a very dark teal greeny blue. And that's our new Murmuration design. So the Murmuration was a competition winner a few years back, and we've reworked the design to try and keep the elements that everyone loved but make it feel a bit more Firespiral. And so we've put it into this new background here of trees and moorland that's inspired by Brockholes country park near us. So yeah, these are 2 pieces of cloth that have been unwashed, unhemmed, just cut straight off the roll. And then these are samples that I've just thrown into the washing machine. I've tumble dried them and I've not ironed them. And you can see that they are soft and supple. There's absolutely no creasing. You don't have to do any complicated ironing, no effort whatsoever. They are a good weight. I've not actually worked out the GSM, should have done that before this video, shouldn't I? But I will find that out and I'll put that on here. But they feel a sort of medium weight. They will be incredibly easy to wrap with. They've got a lovely stretch to them. They've got the support that you get from linen because it doesn't stretch too much, so you get to that end point quite quickly. People find that very supportive. This is the kind of wrap that you could use from newborn right through to big children, to going to reception class children. Yeah, and the Sleepy Dust gives a really subtle effect on the Nocturne design. We've actually changed the Nocturne design as well, just ever so slightly. We first wove this on the last release and we've just added this sort of sine wave of stars to join the moons together. There's a lot of detail in this wrap that I'll get some better pictures of for you, and I'll do some wrapping with it as well with my demo doll. But it is going to be a lovely classic wrap perfect for new baby wearers, and you'll be able to hone your skills beautifully with that. So that's that one. That's the Sleepy Dust, and this is the Water Witch. It's noticeable when I've washed these how much the colour in the weft has come together. As the warp pulls together, it sort of intensifies this weft colour that appears quite dark on the unwashed cloth, and then sort of the green starts to shine through. There. So again, it's the exact same blend, high linen. It's still got the shine of linen, and it's got a sort of a slightly rougher, grippier texture, but it's not an overly textured wrap. It's just the perfect midpoint of all the qualities that you would look for. It's going to make it a very easy wrap to use. So some people will have pre-ordered this Water Witch, and those wraps will be coming out very soon. But for anyone who hasn't, both this and the Nocturne will be in our shop as soon as we've finished hemming the wraps. They'll be available as we normally do, with some stock available straight away to buy, and then other options that you can select, and we'll sew them to order for you. That means that we keep the cloth on the roll and we make everything to order so that we don't run out of cloth and have too many things of one item in stock and not what you want in stock. And our turnaround is about 2 weeks max, so it's not a long wait and you get exactly what you want. So that is our newest release. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, the blanket. So recently we've had lots of blanket pre-orders, and most of those people paid a deposit for the blanket and filled it up, and we've only had maybe 1 or 2 of those blankets left over to go in the shop. Now this is one that we wove as a stock option. So it is the Tentacular Spectacular design. It is a king size blanket, which is going to make it awkward for me. I have to move my table and my brew. It's going to make it awkward for me to show you. And it's Bifrost Obsidian, which means that it's a graduated rainbow. It's got a green stitching there. It's recycled, reclaimed cotton. So the cotton comes from factory floors where offcuts of new cloth are thrown away and they would just go into landfill, and that cloth is gathered back up and mashed back down and into fibres and respun, so that there's no waste. And there's no waste in our manufacturing process either. So it all gets used, all the cloth gets used. And then fully reversible, so you've got one side that is very much more bright rainbow and the other side is more subtle. There we go. And once the cloth's woven, it's then brushed, and the brushing gives it this really soft, fluffy, thick feel. Great for this time of year on your beds when you perhaps need a little bit extra warmth in the night. There. So these are in our shop, and we are putting any spare blankets from the pre-order, that the 1 or 2 that were left over, we'll be putting those in. So there will be a bit more choice in our blankets than we had, yeah. But we also run pre-orders all the time for blankets. So if there's something that you wanted to see, all you have to do is get in touch with us and say, oh, I'm really desperate for a black and white Nocturne blanket, for example. And we help you to promote it a bit, find another group of people who would all be interested. Usually on our Facebook group, there's people looking for blankets. And then once we've got enough interest in a blanket, we'll weave it for you. And there you go. And so that's a lot easier than just having us choose what we would like to see, because it means that you get to choose as well. So there we go. I think that's everything that I was going to tell you today. It's just nice to feel like I'm back at work properly. Yeah, so hopefully we'll see you soon. Have a lovely weekend.